Famcast Media, bitch.
Well, demons and demonesses, I guess I was wrong about something. We found out who's responsible for what's going on with Florida and, the school curriculum. So if you saw my previous video, I made a comment saying that there were probably no black people on the panel. Well, unfortunately, I was wrong, and things are a lot worse than what I thought. Just like the trend of, Christians coming out and defending slavery, well, I'm just gonna roll the clip for you guys.
But God had to anoint me to go in the gates of the city, to go in the chambers of the city, to write laws and to be able to debate and write legislation so that his kingdom could come and manifest itself like never before. And you can talk about the Holocaust, but the Jews own everything. I thank God for slavery. I thank God for the crack house. If it wasn't for the crack house, come on somebody, God wouldn't have never been able to use me how he can use me now. And if it wasn't for slavery, I might be somewhere in Africa worshiping a tree.
Top story tonight, a local lawmaker is firing back at reports that she previously thanked God for slavery. Jacksonville State Representative Kim Daniels says she wants to set the record straight, saying that those words were taken out of context. Cheyenne Cole's on your side, adding context to the story. She's live tonight downtown. So Cheyenne, how did this all even begin?
It all started with a controversial new approach to teaching African American history in Florida, including the claim that people benefited from slavery. Now, you'll remember the issue brought the vice president to Jacksonville last week, and it continues to be the big story out of Florida this week. The same issue has also led to infighting among local Democratic lawmakers. Democratic State Representative Kim Daniels making her stance on slavery clear Thursday morning. This week, video surfaced of the Jacksonville pastor saying she thanked God for slavery. She says that message is 15 years old and meant to convey that she's grateful for the ability to overcome obstacles despite history.
Slavery as it existed was cruel, inhumane, and an oppressive institution that had roots in the United States, including the Kingsley plantation in Northeast Florida, and was not a benefit to African Americans.
Daniels blames Democratic Representative Angie Nixon and sent her a cease and desist letter warning her to stop talking to media about it.
At the end of the day, those are her words that she said that have been spreading across the internet for years, and this just seems like a very unwarranted, vindictive attack.
Both Daniels and Nixon agree on one thing. The curriculum is teaching flawed history. However, Education Commissioner Manny Diaz defends the new standards, decrying false attacks on the new guidelines created by a work group of black scholars.
I want the children, African American boys and girls, to understand and know that just like my trials and tribulations that I have overcome, they can overcome.
Angie Nixon says she and other legislators are discussing how to prevent that new curriculum from making it into Florida classrooms, but she couldn't provide specifics. Reporting live in Jacksonville, Cheyenne Cole, First Coast News, on your side.
Now, did anyone else see what I see? I'm going to tell you what you guys might have missed. This woman that thanked God for slavery, she's not a Republican, she's not one of these religious conservatives. This woman is a freaking Democrat. A Democrat. Now, after listening to this woman speak, I've never been happier to have never been associated with the Democratic Party. I usually don't like talking too political, especially when it comes to parties and whatnot, but I was never a big fan of the Democratic Party. I personally feel it's too corrupt. But, I hear so many people, throughout my life say, vote blue no matter who. Vote blue down ballot. Well, that's what happens when you vote blue down ballot. That's what happens when you vote blue no matter who. And this isn't the first time it happened. There was another Democrat by the name of Kim Davis. I know, we're going on this trend of people named Kims doing crazy things. Kim Davis, who refused to give marriage licenses to queer couples. That woman was also a registered Democrat. So my message still goes to what I said in my previous video about black people, leaving the church. But I want to extend that message and add a little bit more to it. Not only should black people leave the church, black people should also leave this plantation known as the Democratic Party. Because let's be honest, the Democratic Party doesn't give a rat's ass about you. They only care about black people, once every 4 years? Election cycles, midterms? Other than that, the Democratic Party isn't going to do shit for black people. Now, I understand, a lot of people live in, closed primary states, so they kind of have no choice. I'm unfortunately living in a closed primary state, so I have to register as either one of the two major parties in order for me to vote. Other than that, then, my voice will never be heard. Well, I think the point that I'm trying to make is just because someone may look like you or someone might have a specific letter in front of their name doesn't mean that they have what's in your best interest. This woman is clearly a disgrace to black people. She's a disgrace to the state of Florida. And even so that, many both black Democrats and black Republicans have called her out on this shit. Both religious people, irreligious people. This seems to be the one thing that a lot of people have gotten behind because of how ridiculously outrageous it is. I mean, yeah, today it might be slavery, but what's going to happen tomorrow? Tomorrow they might try to do this with, I don't know, the Trail of Tears. They might try to do this with, the Chinese Exclusion Act. They might try to do this with the Holocaust. We're watching history being revised right in front of our eyes. And it's as if we're dealing with a new religion. Not Christianity. What we're dealing with is American exceptionalism. Doesn't matter how bad or how dark the history is, we got to rewrite it to make us look like, we're the heroes. This kind of reminds me of a quote that, my history teacher once taught me. It's an African proverb, and it goes, "Until the lion has a storyteller of his own, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter." Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Everything I wanted to say has pretty much already been said in a previous video. But this is just a little update. Sad that, what Florida's going through. I mean, shoot. Not only should the queer people get out, but the black people ought to get out of Florida too. Thankfully, I had a family member that just moved up from Florida. And I had another friend who, was also queer. She moved up from Florida. So, hopefully New Jersey will be that sanctuary state. I know our taxes are high, but shit, at least you don't gotta get worried about people drunk off Jesus juice dictating every aspect of your fucking life. Alright, you guys, you stay safe, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll catch you guys next time.